As the world watches the war in Ukraine unfold, soon into its third year, one small European nation has made a surprising yet pivotal impact. Denmark, often overshadowed by larger players, has stepped up in a big way. But how exactly has Denmark's contribution changed the dynamics of this conflict? And what does it signify for the future of European security? Denmark's decision to donate its entire stock of self-propelled artillery units to Ukraine is nothing short of historic. This unprecedented move not only underscores Denmark's strong commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty, but also highlights the nation's willingness to sacrifice its own military assets for the greater good. Denmark's support for Ukraine has surged, totaling approximately 6.7 billion euros in military assistance and close to 636 million euros in civilian aid since the onset of the war. This unprecedented commitment showcases Denmark's strong resolve to uphold Ukraine's sovereignty and its readiness to mobilize significant resources for a greater good. In fact, this lands Denmark as the single biggest contributor of aid to Ukraine per GDP out of all nations on Earth. In a landscape where some European nations have hesitated to provide significant arms support, Denmark's decisive action stands out. By taking this bold step, Denmark is not only challenging the status quo, but also signaling to other European countries that stronger, unified action is necessary to counter Russian aggression and safeguard European stability. If at any point during this video you end up liking it, I'd be very grateful if you hit the like button. The strategic ramifications of Denmark's contribution extend beyond the battlefield. It marks a notable shift in Denmark's role within European defense frameworks and showcases its dedication to enhancing NATO's collective strength. This move also highlights Denmark's readiness to engage deeply in addressing major security threats, potentially influencing the broader European security landscape. Simply put, it puts a spotlight on countries now donating over 1% less of their GDP to Ukraine's cause than Denmark, indirectly showing how they're not so interested in European security. One of the critical challenges facing Ukraine has been a severe shortage of artillery shells, which has hindered its defense efforts. Artillery is a key asset in modern warfare, capable of altering the course of battles. Denmark's donation is crucial in alleviating this shortage and providing Ukraine with the firepower needed to counter Russian advances. By being one of the first to donate modern self-propelled guns to Ukraine, Denmark has helped Ukraine make better use of its limited ammunition, improving accuracy on the battlefield. At the same time, Denmark's investment in Ukraine's ammunition production and partnerships with other allies ensures that Ukraine has the firepower it needs to defend itself effectively. In order to get an understanding of what Denmark have donated so far, we'll have to start at the big-ticket items. Among the key assets donated are Denmark's Caesar self-propelled howitzers. Not only did Denmark donate these systems with no backup systems in place, but they also did so at a very early stage in the war. The Caesar has long since proven its mettle in the war by contributing with pinpoint accuracy and extreme durability in a conflict where artillery systems are destroyed at a staggering rate. Secondly, the Danish donations of F-16s cannot be underestimated. While there has been a setback with the loss of a Ukrainian pilot due to a malfunction, it's important to note that the F-16 fleet, which is steadily growing, is a significant upgrade from older Soviet aircraft. The F-16's ability to shoot down missiles and drones using Sidewinder missiles is particularly valuable. These missiles are often 10 times cheaper than ground-based anti-air missiles, making the F-16s a highly cost-effective defensive weapon for Ukraine. The third item of note is the Harpoon anti-ship batteries Denmark has supplied to Ukraine. With a range of 140 kilometers, the Harpoon has been instrumental in closing off large portions of the Ukrainian coastline to enemy vessels. This has helped Ukraine keep vital shipping lanes open, allowing them to transport nearly as much grain by sea as they did before the war. It also shuts down a large part of the Black Sea to the Black Sea Fleet, which has enabled Ukraine's special forces to roam pretty freely in the western Black Sea, around many of the oil installations in the area. There are numerous other systems that Denmark has supplied to Ukraine, including thermal radars, CV-90, Stingers, Leopard tanks, M100 and 13 armored personnel carriers, and more. However, to keep things manageable for those who aren't military equipment enthusiasts, let's move on to other aspects of Denmark's aid to Ukraine, which is likely even more important than the gear that Denmark has delivered. Not only was Denmark one of the first countries to donate F-16 jets, it was also the first country to invest in Ukrainian weapons production. Denmark has made a significant contribution to Ukraine's defense industry by becoming the first NATO member to invest in weapons production within the country. This investment agreement not only provides Ukraine with much-needed military equipment, but also aims to boost the country's domestic defense production capabilities. The agreement includes a financing procedure designed to expedite the process, addressing the challenges posed by Ukraine's limited defense budget. While the Ukrainian military industry has a capacity of around $20 billion a year, the Ukrainian state can only afford $6 billion. Denmark's direct investment puts the money to good use in a country which is already one of the most high-tech producers of drones and electronic warfare systems in the world. On the civilian side of things, Denmark has demonstrated its unwavering support for Ukraine through a comprehensive aid package worth 636 million euros. This assistance extends beyond military support to include vital areas such as energy infrastructure, humanitarian aid, financial support, and reconstruction efforts. By addressing these critical needs, Denmark is helping Ukraine rebuild its economy, support its displaced population, and recover from the devastating impacts of the war. So why is Denmark's support for Ukraine so important, you may ask? The country's support has served as a catalyst for other European nations to increase their own assistance. By taking a leading role and demonstrating the clear benefits of providing significant aid, Denmark has encouraged other countries to reassess their contributions and step up their efforts. This collective action has strengthened Ukraine's position and demonstrated the international community's commitment to supporting its sovereignty and territorial integrity. In the Nordics, who often act like everything is a competition, Denmark's donations seem to spur all their fellow countries to keep donating more, with Sweden and Finland only as recently as earlier this week, each complementing their own aid packages to Ukraine with several million more. To better understand the significance of Denmark's contribution, let's perform a hypothetical calculation. Considering the four largest economies in NATO, if they were to donate to Ukraine at the same rate as Denmark, the war would likely be over. Denmark has donated almost double the amount that France has. It's important to note that the EU countries have also contributed through the EU fund, so the actual figures for France, Germany, and Denmark is higher than their standalone figures suggest. To illustrate the scale of Denmark's contribution, consider this. If all European NATO nations were to donate to Ukraine at the same level as Denmark, Ukraine would receive a total of 260 billion euros. Including the United States in this calculation would raise the total to around 750 billion euros. And with Canada included, it would reach closer to 800 billion. In comparison, Russia's total GDP is around 2 trillion euros. This means that just a small percentage of the combined GDP of NATO nations could provide Ukraine with substantial support, significantly exceeding Russia's total military budget by a large amount. As a long-standing military man, nothing has ever been as clear to me. We need to up our support of Ukraine. Not only does this support directly benefit Ukraine, but it also has broader implications for European security. By adopting a proactive approach, we can alleviate pressure on European nations from refugees and reduce the likelihood of future military conflicts on the continent. Moreover, fighting Russia in Ukraine with financial and military support is a far more effective and less costly strategy than engaging in direct military confrontation. By assisting Ukraine, we are weakening Russia's military capabilities and challenging its expansionist ambitions. This indirect approach can help to deter future aggression and maintain peace and stability in Europe. In conclusion, Denmark's example is a powerful reminder of the importance of international cooperation and solidarity in the face of global challenges. By following Denmark's lead, other nations can make a significant difference in supporting Ukraine's defense and contributing to a more secure and stable future for Europe and the world as a whole. If you liked this video, I'd be honored if you gave it a big thumbs up. It helps us compete against much larger fish. Thank you.